and welcome to our next Challenger Connection. I'm Commander Jennifer. And no, this isn't Commander Sydney. I have a special guest star. So for those astrotots out there, you probably recognize our special guest, Space Monkey. And Space Monkey definitely didn't want to have to stay at the center by himself during all of this time where we are healthy at home. So he came home with me and my family, and he's been pretty good. He hasn't been too ornery. But thinking about Space Monkey got me thinking about animals in space. Did you know that before we ever sent humans into space, we sent animals? That's right. We sent animals into space to make sure that it was safe for living things to go into space. One of the first animals that was sent into space was actually a dog sent by the former Soviet Union. Her name was Laika. And then the United States sent some monkeys. Some of the most famous are Miss Baker and Abel. And then they even sent a chimpanzee into space whose name was Ham. Ham. The chimpanzee named Ham went into space. The French space agency sent some cats, and since then, all sorts of animals have gone into space. Now, most of the animals that NASA sends into space are pretty small. And some of the smaller animals that they send into space are things like frogs. Do you think a frog can hop in space? Or spiders? What do you think happens to a spider in space? Can she build a web? So all sorts of animals have gone on space missions into space. And we're going to hear a story about one famous animal into space named Mousetronaut. Mousetronaut had big dreams of going into space. So let's hear his story. Mousetronaut by astronaut Mark Kelly. Illustrated by C.F. Payne. Based on a partially true story. The space shuttle is set for launch, and the astronauts are doing their last-minute training to prepare for the mission. NASA is sending along some special guests for this flight, and they're training too. One mouse is smaller than all the rest. His name is Meteor. The other mice know he won't be chosen for this important mission, but someone has his eye on Meteor, and he's impressed with the little mouse's hard work. The shuttle commander announces that 6 mice will be selected for the flight. He picks 5 of the biggest, strongest mice, but for the 6th spot, to everyone's surprise, he chooses Meteor. All 6 are taken to their new home, a special cage called the Mouse Hotel. The other mice are nervous as the countdown begins. But not Meteor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. At first, the mice are pressed flat against their cages by the power of the launch. But then the pressure goes away. The other mice cling to their cages in terror. But not Meteor. He loves the feeling of weightlessness. "Hey, little guy," the commander says, "you're a natural. A real live Mousetronaut." Meteor is taken from his cage and gets a tour of the shuttle. He can even see the Earth way off in the distance. The astronauts are all very busy during the 14-day flight. There are spacewalks to take and experiments to conduct. But what can Meteor do to help? Then, while answering email, one of the astronauts notices the key of the control panel stuck between the monitors. When he tries to get it out, it accidentally gets wedged farther down. "This isn't good," says the commander. "We need that key back." One astronaut tries to move the monitor. It doesn't budge. Another slips her fingers into the crack, but the key is stuck too deep. One even tries pushing it out with a long piece of metal, but with no luck, no one can reach it. The astronauts are getting worried, but as they discuss the problem, a tiny figure has figured an idea. "Being the smallest isn't a bad thing," Meteor says to himself. "Maybe I can be useful on this flight." Meteor squeezes his way into the crack. The space is dark and cramped, but Meteor spots the key and tugs at it with all his might. "Hey, look at what our tiny friend has done," the commander says. "He saved the mission." When the shuttle returns to Earth, Meteor is declared a hero. He's even given a brand new uniform and an official title, Mousetronaut. All the astronauts cheer and applaud, but Meteor is already thinking about his next big mission. I hope you enjoyed Mousetronaut. So our activity for you today, can you build a rocket perfect for a mouse going into space? So look around, find some things at home. See if you can build a rocket for Mousetronaut. What would be some parts you would need? Remember those parts we taught you in some of the videos before? A body, fins, a nose cone, and then of course if you're sending a Mousetronaut into space, you need a capsule. Where would your Mousetronaut ride? Send some pictures in our comments. We would love to see what you come up with. And be sure to tune in on Monday when Commander Melissa has a very special surprise and announcement for us. I'm Commander Jennifer, and this is Space Monkey, over and out.